Well, you know it. If it's Wednesday morning, it is time for another About Mansfield Consumer Advice Series episode. I'm Steve Casillo, your host. We appreciate you being here today. So you are either watching live on Facebook, or you are watching the video on YouTube, or you are watching the video on LinkedIn, or you are listening to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform. In any event, we appreciate you being here today. Today being Wednesday, as we do every Wednesday, we're talking about health and wellness. That's what I was looking for. And with us, as we do every Wednesday, is Dr. Jordan Adams from Calibration Chiropractic. Welcome back, and say hello to the audience.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
And today's episode is for women who are wanting to create the healthiest environment possible for pregnancy, but not specifically pregnancy. Today we're talking about actually preconception. And so, Dr. Jordan, what are some things that women who are trying to get pregnant, what are some things that they should be concerned about before they get pregnant?
Yeah, so Steve, I think this is a great topic that a lot of times we don't talk about. And I just want to start by saying the focus shouldn't always be on getting pregnant, but on getting healthy. And I like to put that emphasis out there first because it's kind of like if you're growing a crop, right? The healthiest soil is going to create the healthiest crop. And
Yeah.
so it's similar with us as humans. We want a very healthy body, whether that's nutritionally, whether that's physically, or whether that's in our stress responses, so that we can create a good environment to nurture growing a human. And also, these aren't just for moms, these tips are also for the dads too. It
Okay.
takes both an egg and a sperm to create a baby, right? So you want both of those to be as healthy as possible. So there's oftentimes three buckets that I talk to my patients about, and there are more buckets to consider down the road. But the biggest buckets to consider when we're talking about preconception are going to be nutrition. They're going to be stress management, and it's going to be physical activity.
All right. And so let's dig into these buckets here, and let's talk about nutrition for the men and for the women. What should they be eating? What should they not be eating to help conceive a child?
Yeah, so the rules for basic nutritional health are very, very, very similar, regardless of whatever you're trying to achieve in life. It's really just whole food eating, right? So we want to make sure we're eating plenty of fruits and vegetables. We want to make sure we're drinking enough water. We want to make sure that we're eating healthy fats. So that can be avocados or raw seeds and nuts. And we also want to make sure that we're keeping in mind we're limiting our processed foods. We're limiting animal proteins. So I like to steer people. It's okay to eat proteins from animals, but try to mix it up. Do legumes or black beans, things like that periodically too. You can get plenty of protein from plant sources, and it also comes with a lot of micronutrients and those macronutrients that we need. One other thing that I like to really, really educate my patients on is the importance of vitamin D and folate when we're talking about preconceptive health. A lot of people don't realize that vitamin D particularly has a huge impact on reproductive health. There are receptors on the reproductive organs for females, but also for men. If you don't have enough vitamin D, it actually decreases your sperm motility and production.
Vitamin D, isn't that from the sun?
Yes, so that's the best way to get vitamin D. It's also the healthiest way. So 10 to 15 minutes in the morning without sunscreen can help your body synthesize vitamin D that you're getting from your diet so that you can actually make it more absorbable for your body.
Sure. Okay. And stay away from fast food?
Stay away from fast food. Limit it. You can have a cheat day, but stay away as much as
Oh,
possible.
I need my French fries. But all right, let's talk about stress management. What can future parents do about stress management in order to conceive?
Yeah, so let me start by saying stress, as we all know, doesn't necessarily do our body service, right? And we can get stuck in what's called sympathetic dominance. And that's when we are stuck in a high amount of stress for too long, and it starts to take a negative toll on the body. When we're talking about preconceptive health, it has an impact on hormone regulation. So what stress does is it amps up our cortisol, and cortisol is our stress hormone. That has an impact on our HPA axis of our brain, which then impacts our reproductive organs. For women, that can mean that it alters our cycles. It can make us to where we actually don't ovulate. And it also suppresses other important reproductive hormones to further support pregnancy if you were to conceive. And for the men, it reduces our your sperm concentration.
All right. So, true story here. One of my family members, they were trying to conceive. Months and months and months. In fact, probably over a year went by. They're having problems. And turns out the wife had a very high stress job. She quit her job and was pregnant within 2 months. Is this a typical scenario of stress management?
So yes, it could be. And anytime we talk about stress, it can be little things that we do every day. So it can be that high stress job that you just talked about. It could be financial stress. It could be a major life event. We just went through all the COVID stuff, right? And so how we deal with those things or don't deal with them can, yes, impact our body's ability to conceive. And when we talk about sympathetic dominance or high stress amounts, if we are stressed, your body perceives it as not a safe time or a right time to have a baby. Yeah. So we want to steer our body away from those sympathetic stress states into more of a relaxation, feed, breed, grow a human type of state.
Meditation. Yoga.
Yes.
Yeah. And that kind of leads into the third bucket, physical activity, and that the mind, where you've especially with meditation, and then you've got yoga, which is physical. You also mentioned 15 minutes a day of going outside and absorbing some of that sunshine. Let's dig into that third bucket, physical activity.
So physical activity is really important, particularly for the expecting mother or the mom trying to conceive, because we want to create a strength in the body so that it prepares us for the physicality of pregnancy. Because like we talked about last week, there are a lot of structural shifts in pregnancy, but it also prepares you for the physicality of birth and for postpartum, where you're carrying around a baby almost 24/7.
Right.
And so there are things you can do, like, yes, yoga is great. And yoga does have that meditative element that helps stress management, but any physical activity helps with stress management. So whether that's doing some consistent weight training during the week or going for a 20-30-minute walk a couple days a week, just getting your body moving improves your mood, helps stress, and gets your muscles stronger so that you can get prepared to go through pregnancy and postpartum.
All right. So the three buckets again: nutrition, stress management, physical activity, for not only for those who are trying to conceive a baby, but during the pregnancy as well.
Exactly.
Okay. We've got about a minute left. Is there anything that you want to maybe wrap up, recap, before we hand out your information on how to contact you?
Sure. So like I said at the beginning, there are those three primary buckets that we talked about. But I mean, there's also things like making sure you're staying hydrated, in the 110, 105 degree weather we've had over the last several days, drinking more water than you even feel like you should. Like, don't wait until you're thirsty to drink water. And also like looking at areas where you can minimize the toxins in and around your life. So those are two extra little buckets that I'll throw in there for people.
If anyone wanted to reach out to Dr. Jordan Adams and get more information about your chiropractic service and how it plays into expecting mothers or those who are trying to conceive, how can they reach out to you?
So I practice at Calibration Chiropractic down in downtown Mansfield. All of our information is on our website. Probably the easiest way to find all the information. It's calibrationmansfield.com.
CalibrationMansfield.com. That's Dr. Jordan Adams. We do this every Wednesday. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Have a good weekend or week.